Hello children, Shubha teacher here. We have completed chapter seed, its structure and function. I have come to you in the sixth video with some question and answers. Let's move on. Here I have give functions of the following parts. With respect to the diagram which is there on the upper right hand corner, we have the diagram of bean seed showing all its parts. So let's go through its parts first. Seed coat, cotyledon, radicle, plumule, epicotyl, hypocotyl, and micropyle, as well as in give functions I've given endosperm. However, it is a cotyledonous seed. Endosperm we had discussed in maize grain. So let's start. The first one is seed coat. Now, one more thing before I start with the answers. I have given some words and phrases in red. Now, red means these are keywords. These are very important for your answer. The function of seed coat is, since it is outermost, it protects the inner parts of the seed. So protection, giving protection is the key word. It gives protection to the inner parts of seed. Cotyledon. Cotyledon supplies nutrition to the growing embryo. Nutrition, whom does it give nutrition? To the embryo. So cotyledon supplies nutrition to the growing embryo. Third structure is micropyle. Now you can see on the left hand side, micropyle is shown here in the figure. Micropyle is just below the hilum. Micropyle is a tiny opening through which water enters into the seed and respiratory gases move in and out of the seed. Like during respiration, oxygen diffuses into the seed and carbon dioxide diffuse out. So micropyle's function is to allow water inside the seed. And next is, there are two functions. It allows respiratory gases to move in and out of the seed. Fourth structure is endosperm. Now here this seed has cotyledon. The seeds which do not have cotyledon, that is, they are endospermic seed, their endosperm supplies nutrition to the growing embryo. So in a way, function of cotyledon and endosperm are same. Fifth structure is radicle. Radicle forms root on germination of seed. When a seed germinates, its structures grows. So radicle grows up to form root. Plumule forms shoot on germination of seed. Next structure is coleoptile. Now coleoptile is also present in maize grain. Coleoptile protects the plumule in maize grain. Epicotyl, now you have to understand, in coleoptile, maize grain has to be mentioned because coleoptile is found in maize grain, not in bean seed or not in any other normal seed. Now next structure I have mentioned here is epicotyl. Now epicotyl and hypocotyl, if you remember, we have discussed before, it is a part of embryonic axis. Epicotyl pushes the cotyledon below the ground during hypogeal germination. Alright, so it is because if epicotyl grows more than hypocotyl, therefore cotyledon is pushed below the ground during hypogeal germination. You can go back to the previous video where I have discussed about the kinds of germination to understand the structure again. Alright, so we move on to the next kind of question, that is give reasons for. First is, maize is a grain. In such question you are given statements and you have to justify by giving reasons for the statement. Maize is a grain. Why? This you have to answer. Now we have already discussed this in the beginning of the chapter, that why is or what is a grain. So grain is a fruit in which the outer protective covering is fused seed coat and fruit wall. In maize grain, what happens? The seed coat and the fruit wall, they both are fused together to form one protective covering. That is why maize is called a grain. Next question. A fresh seed normally does not germinate even if conditions are favorable. Now here you have to understand it very clearly. If a fresh seed comes out of a fruit and you immediately plant it into the soil, it takes some time, because the reason is any seed, a fresh seed has to undergo a period of dormancy. Now what is a period of dormancy? During this dormancy period, the seed doesn't grow but remains in an inactive form, so that the cells inside matures. They undergo physiological maturity. Here physiological maturity means the production of nutrients, and that increases, that helps in formation of new cells during germination. So that maturity is required. Therefore a fresh seed does not germinate even if conditions are favorable. It has to undergo a period of dormancy. The next is seeds sown deep in soil fail to germinate. This you have to understand again. When we sow a seed in soil, you can do it yourself in a pot, or if you have a garden children, that take two seeds. One seed you can put on the surface of soil, just and sprinkle little bit sand over it and put water, and another seed you take and insert deep into the soil. You will find that the seed which has been inserted deep, it fails to germinate. There are two reasons behind it. One is because they do not get sufficient pushing force. The embryo, when starts coming out during germination, that is the tender radicle and plumule, they are very soft tissues, so they are not able to push upper thick layers of soil if they are inserted deep inside. So pushing force is less in this condition. And next is, when they are deep inside, they do not get sufficient oxygen to carry out respiration process. So thus seeds sown deep in soil fail to germinate. Next give reason question is, germinated grams are considered highly nutritive. Your parents would be giving you sprouts. Sprouts are the germinated grains, and pulses, grains, which are very nutritious actually. That is why they are given germinated. Now the reason behind it is, when seeds get hydrated means when we soak the seeds and they get moisture. Hydration is taking moisture, getting water. So when seeds get hydrated during germination, the stored food which is already present either in cotyledon or in endosperm, that stored food with water get transformed into active proteins, fatty acids, vitamins. And the amount of nutrients also increase, and they become rich in carbohydrates. So germinated grams are rich in proteins, fatty acids, vitamins, carbohydrates, minerals. So thus germinated grams are considered highly nutritive. Now here I have another question, again a very interesting question. If you see the figure, we do observe potatoes when we keep in basket for a long time, and especially during germination, during rainy season, it is seen that they start germinating. Such kind of white outgrowths start coming out of potatoes. So the question is that when such small shoots come out, sometimes the potatoes kept in a basket during late rainy season start giving out small shoots. Would you call it germination? Give reason to support your answer. Now, definitely such growth in potatoes is not called as germination. The reason is, such growth is vegetative reproduction. You have studied in class 8 in reproduction in plants that when new plant grows from any other part of a plant apart from seeds, it is called as vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. So such growth in potatoes is not germination, it is vegetative reproduction, because germination takes place in seed where embryo grows into a seedling. Now we move to the last question, wherein you are given some diagrams. It is also called as diagram based questions or application questions. You are given diagram and some questions are based on the diagrams. Like here is the picture of maize grain. However, it's given in the question, but you may get one question as identify the diagram. So that it is maize grain. What kind of grain is maize? Here the question means to ask that it is monocotyledonous or dicotyledonous. So the answer should be maize grain is monocotyledonous endospermic grain. What does embryo consist of? Embryo consists of radicle and plumule. Name the one more thing, radicle, plumule and cotyledon, single cotyledon called as scutellum. Name the protective sheath of radicle and plumule. The protective sheath of radicle is coleorhiza and protective sheath of plumule is coleoptile. What is scutellum? Scutellum is the single thin cotyledon which is present in maize grain. So I have not given answers to these questions here because these questions are very direct questions. You can easily get it from your book. And such kind of questions are asked. So you have to become familiar with these kinds of questions. There are more such questions in your book. You have to go through it and practice them. Now, interesting is, in the next video, I'll be showing you germination of seed on 10th June. So you have to be ready with some kind of seeds, some gram seeds, some bean seeds you soak in water today itself, and then we'll together do the activity in the next video. Thank you, children. Take care and stay safe.